Hello everyone and welcome to the second video on my YouTube channel. This week we're talking about something rather special. We're going to focus on Mercedes-Benz infotainment systems. Now, the latest one in Mercedes-Benz cars is called MBUX. MBUX stands for Mercedes-Benz User Experience, and it basically defines how an infotainment should be. It is rather special. There's lots of gadgets and special features it can do. It's very intuitive and so easy, you don't even need the manual for it. And what makes Mercedes-Benz User Experience so good? Well, it's the fact you can use it via multiple different ways. So you can use touch with your finger, you can use a touchpad, you can also use touchpads on the steering wheel, and you can use your voice. So there's a total of 4 ways in which you can control the system. Now there are a couple of key favourites that I know people really like on MBUX. One of those is the voice, so the fact you can talk to it. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Tell me a joke.
Sorry, I'm too busy looking at the road.
Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
What do you think of Audi?
The same as you, otherwise you would not be sitting here.
But that joking aside, let's dive straight into MBUX. So primarily, MBUX, all you'll probably use is the simple things. The first 4 things, the phone, the sat-nav, the radio, and the media, all shown on the screen. After you've set up all the settings, to be honest, that's all you'll ever use. So going through each of these things, we have phone just here. So if we go into phone, you can connect to phone. And the good thing with MBUX is you can actually connect 2 phones. That's right, there's 2. So incoming calls for either phone, so driver and passenger, you can have 2 phones connected and answer the phones on here, whichever phone rings. Now of course then if you need to phone out, you select phone 1 or phone 2 on the screen, and then obviously you go through your phone book and select who you want to phone. Now of course going on to the sat-nav next, we have this menu just along the bottom here, and that is primarily what most people will use. And to be honest, it's actually only the first 3 buttons here. So you've got where to, the finish, and the mute button. The other 2 are actually just settings and route settings. So unless you fancy changing those, you probably won't go in there. It will just be the first 3 buttons. But you've got where to, where you can type in a postcode or a town or a place. The finish button, then of course the mute button. And of course there are mute buttons just here and over here as well, so you can control the system either way. And then over on the left over here, we have the view mode. So you can go from 3D to 2D to north up. There's places for parking as well. It can search for parking spaces. And quite handily, although I can't demonstrate it right now, but if you haven't noticed, there's a little knife and fork that actually appears in the very top left hand corner around about lunchtime and dinner time, because the car knows you'll probably want to eat something. So it kind of predicts what you might want to do. Of course the next one along is radio, which allows you to put all the radio stations on. We can go through them all obviously via the touchscreen here, or on these here, the touchpads, or the actual main touchpad down here. You can actually tap on them as well, skip through them, add favourites, so really easy. Next one of course is media, which then allows you to connect up your phone, play music via phone, or plug your phone in via the USB ports. USB ports in Mercedes cars are usually located either in here or just in here. Then of course we have the comfort ambient lighting menu. You saw that ambient lighting just a couple of minutes ago, and it's just so good. Then of course we have the Mercedes Me apps. This just allows you to purchase certain things for the Mercedes Me app in the car to save you having to boot up your laptop or iPad or load up your phone. You can go in there and actually buy them, providing you've got a credit or debit card linked to your Mercedes Me account. And then of course we have the final thing, which is settings in this long menu. So we have settings, quick access, which allows you to turn off parking sensors, the alarms for the car. Depending on the type of car, there may be more things, such as the GLE. Traffic sign assist is the next one. So MBUX basically has a 3D stereoscopic camera up here that looks ahead. And as soon as you go past a road sign, it will show it to you in the dashboard. Pretty neat. Then we have a few other safety systems in there. Vehicle, which allows you to change a few vehicle settings, some light settings, and then finally system, which allows you to change the themes. I quite like the progressive one, to be honest. But actually, as we're in the GLC here, this one has Super Sport. So all cars have the classic function. Most cars will then also have the Sport if you have the digital dashboard, but then this particular car has Super Sport. Now, some cars have a very special gadget called Augmented Reality Navigation. Now, this particular car here does have that feature. So the only way I can demonstrate that is by going on the road. The augmented reality system is really clever. You have your traditional sat nav here, obviously with a map and the blue line and a finish point telling you exactly where to go. However, sometimes roads can be really close together. You can actually see here, just over here to the right, there's lots of roads close together. So what might be a left turn or what might be a right turn, you might actually end up taking the wrong turn and then you have to turn around. So augmented reality is meant to combat that. So I can demonstrate this here. As we drive down the road, you have your usual blue line with the finish point or a turn or something like that. But what this car will do, when you get near a turning or a roundabout or something like that, you get a camera come on. And the camera basically comes up on the screen, little blue arrow here saying obviously you're going this way. But what this will do, I need to take a right turn here and I might not know where it is. So it will digitally render a blue arrow over the right side here telling you you need to turn right, like right here. And you can't go wrong. Very clever. There we go, guys, that concludes this week's video on Mercedes-Benz User Experience MBUX. If you haven't watched last week's video, give it a little click just here to watch it. It's on SE Sport and AMG line. Likewise, if you wanted to know anything else about the Mercedes-Benz range, just leave a comment down below on what you would like on next week's video and I'll be sure to do it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.